In a move that explains exactly why, my friends, you should not vote for Kamala Harris, the IRS has endorsed her. I absolutely love this. IRS agents endorse Kamala Harris. And we have this from MCR TV. The IRS Agents Union endorses Kamala Harris, citing her Inflation Reduction Act windfall. I'd like to give a round of applause to the IRS for possibly one of the best moves in support of Donald Trump. Everybody hates the IRS. Sorry. They just do. Did you know that the IRS has armed law enforcement agents? People don't realize this because they actually have to go and enforce tax law. I'm totally fine with it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of taxes, but I recognize so long as we have taxes, you are going to need enforcement. And so they have armed IRS agents. They bought them a bunch of guns and hollow point bullets. And everybody was like, I'm kind of worried about that. So basically, here's what's happening. Why are they endorsing Kamala Harris? Well, my friends, I'm going to tell you in my words. It's because thanks to Kamala and Joe Biden, 87,000 new agents got jobs. 87,000. And those 87,000 employees are probably like, I like my job. I like that I got hired. Everybody should vote for Kamala Harris. Trump's going to fire IRS agents. That's right. So they're not going to endorse him. Welcome to reality, my friends. They lied. They claimed the 87,000 agents are going to be there so they can go after the millionaires and the billionaires that are not paying their fair share. The millionaires and the billionaires, they say. Yeah, well, I got to tell you this. There's very few of them, and you don't need 87,000 employees to go after a tiny handful of ultra-wealthy individuals who, by the way, have the means to fight back through lawyers. The 87,000 agents are for you, America. I'll tell you what's going to happen next year. For some of you, it already happened. I know because you've messaged me. You went to the mailbox. You're going through your mail. You got some bills. You're living paycheck to paycheck. Milk is expensive. Bread and eggs are expensive. You're trying to make ends meet. I've seen the videos. There's a dad saying, I can't afford to feed my daughters. What am I supposed to do? The costs are too high. And as you're going through these bills, what do you see? IRS sends you a letter. And you open it up, and there it is. And it says that you owe $223. And you say to yourself, what do I owe the IRS $223 for? This is ridiculous. Now, there are services. They've sponsored the show in the past. They say any amount they come after you for, call them. They will help you. But for the average person, and you probably should do everything you can and look at it as the best you can. But you might get a bill for $75. And you're like, what's it worth? Most people are just going to pay it. They're just going to pay it. That's the point of 87,000 new agents, because they're coming for you, middle America. They're coming for you, working class Joes. I already have people messaging me saying they got a bill for $1,000 or something like that, and they have no idea how to pay it. Well, here we go. The union that represents the nation's IRS agents announced Wednesday it is endorsing Kamala Harris. Vice President Harris has played a role in one of the most pro-labor administrations in history, they say. It's the National Treasury Employees Union. The administration also delivered agency budgets that provide federal employees with additional staffing and resources, including significant new investments to rebuild the IRS under the Inflation Reduction Act. Harris, they say, however, the IRS expansion won't just increase union membership. It'll also help the agency to collect an additional $5 trillion of tax increases Harris wants. Analysis by Americans for Tax Reform finds. Harris's proposed tax increase will kill jobs in the private sector, but create jobs for IRS agents. Agents certainly appreciate her call to make the IRS even larger and more powerful if she wins the presidency. Agents will be hired and deployed to implement the $5 trillion of tax increases Harris wishes to impose over the next decade. And, they'll lie to you. They're saying, no, there will be no new taxes on anybody who's earning less than $400,000. Trump's just saying this because he wants to give his millionaire buddies tax cuts. They're not going to raise your taxes. What they're going to do is they're going to say, you forgot to pay a tax you already owed. They're going to say, no, we didn't change the tax law. We just realized that you missed this. How do I know? They want reporting on all transactions over $600 so they can nickel and dime you. What do we have here? Someone just threw in a chat, and it disappeared on me, but I thought it was particularly relevant. Someone said, I made $78,000 a year, and the IRS sent me a letter yesterday for $3,000. I'm telling you, people need to understand this. Here's another user. I got a $700 bill out of nowhere. I just paid it. No idea what it was for. This is exactly what I am telling you. This is what I warned about when they started pushing this stuff. The goal is going to be to nickel and dime you. And so when they say no new taxes, what they're really saying is we don't need to modify tax code. We need only interpret the existing code. Now, imagine this. You file your taxes. You do everything right. You go to H&R Block or something, or what's the other one? I forgot the other one. H&R Block, that's the big one. Then they're TurboTax. They do this, right? And you're just like, I don't know. I filed my taxes. I made $80K this year. It says, here's how much you owe in state and federal. And you're going, oh, my refund is going to be so low. Not to mention the idea of a refund is crazy. They took extra money from you and then give it back to you and you're happy about it. It was yours to begin with. I know people who at the end of the year paid their taxes. Actually, this happened to me. I got a job. I paid my taxes. I asked them, like, how do I fill this out? They said, do this. I went to H&R Block. I filled it all out. And then they went, you owe $7,000. And I was like, what? I was like, I paid all my taxes the entire time. And they're like, yep. Too bad. And I'm like, I don't have it. And they're like, oh, that's fine. You've got several months to pay it. So just save up now from every paycheck. And to be fair, like I was making well enough. So it took me a couple of months to pay off the entire $7,000, basically setting aside my paycheck to pay off taxes I didn't realize I owed, which is nuts. Because I went to when I filled out all the forms, I did them exactly as I was told. And then they said, oh, well, you know what? I don't know. Rule changes. You owe more money now. And I'm like, I don't even know why. What am I supposed to do? And so a combination of savings and setting aside paychecks to try and pay this off. And it hurt. I'm like, there goes my savings. But you know what? What are you going to do? I can't go up against that machine. Who can? Now, I got to tell you this, my friends. You got to ask yourself why it is the IRS of all agencies is supporting Kamala Harris. It's because she is the party, my friends, of the federal bureaucratic state. So everything that is bad and bloated in government will be made worse under President Kamala Harris. Now, I want to point this out for you, my friends. I am not an overt partisan individual, despite the fact I'm saying Kamala bad, Trump good. Of course, on the surface, you might say that's overtly partisan. No, I'm just trying to understand the truth. And I can tell you the truth right now. I can tell you all about it. Donald Trump guarantees you no utopia. Donald Trump has character flaws and defects. Donald Trump has lied about many things, but usually they're about his personal endeavors and they're silly. Although I will say in the past several years, Trump seems to have chilled out on this quite a bit. I'll give you an example because a lot of people say, what did Trump lie about? Okay, so when Kamala Harris said people leaving his rallies, he goes, nobody leaves my rallies. Nobody's like, dude, come on, people leave your rallies. And so it's like, it's not a lie in the sense that he's claiming he's worth more than he is. It's not a lie in the sense that he's claiming he'll build a wall, but then he won't. It's a lie in the sense where he's defending his ego. And he's big for that. I think Trump is very much motivated by ego, but I think he's also just trying to do good. And I believe that he wants to do right by people. He wants to keep his promises. I think he's far from a perfect individual. But I think no new wars was good for this country. I think securing our borders is good for this country. I think all of these things can be looked at mathematically. And what do you get? I got to tell you, you give me Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump 2016, I ain't voting. You give me Mitt Romney, Barack Obama, I ain't voting. You give me Barack Obama, McCain, I voted Obama. Why? Because I was tricked and I was lied to as a young man, and I believed this was something different. And then Obama killed American citizens, did everything the same, and I said, oh, yeah, they're all liars. But then I can tell you this. My position is not Democrat good, Republican good, none of that. I hate both parties. It's simply this. Donald Trump represents no new wars. That's what he did in his presidency. You can insult him all day and night, fine, don't care. You can say he's disgusting, he's ludicrously, that's fine. You can say he's a lecherous old man, he's a dog. Yeah, okay. Now, I can say a lot about Kamala Harris in much the same way, to be honest. But I'm going to throw those aside. People say Kamala Harris and Mayor Willie Brown and Montel Williams and blah, blah, and all. Yeah, whatever. Like Donald Trump's got several wives and things like that. Whatever, man. You're allowed to insult or criticize for whatever you want to do. I can just tell you this. You're never going to convince me that Donald Trump is a saint. You're never going to convince me that he is of utmost nobility and decorum. He's Trump. We know what he is. We know what he offers. We know about mean tweets. I think he's improved greatly over the past several years in this field, to be fair. But no new wars. And so that's it. I'm like, guys, I don't like the Republican Party. Mitch McConnell, like, come on, like Lindsey Graham. Ugh. Historically, Paul Ryan back in 16, 17, or in 17. I think he became speaker in 17. No, I don't see these guys as being effective, good leaders. Look where they've brought us. No new wars, though. better trade agreements. I mean, the Teamsters didn't endorse Clinton in 96 because of NAFTA. And now they're refusing to endorse Kamala Harris because of the loss of jobs. You got UAW in Michigan saying the Democrats have cost them auto jobs. Donald Trump is a man who is, let's just call him far from perfect. But he's proven good policy in certain areas. So you come to me and you say Democrat, Republican in a traditional sense. I say warmonger or warmonger. Bye. Donald Trump comes in, no new wars. And I go, I got to be honest. I may not like the Republican Party or agree with them on all their positions, but I don't know how you deny that. I can speak to, Dave Smith or Mouse or other libertarians, and they may still say, I'm not going to vote. But I say, I don't know how you tell the Mises Caucus, the Libertarian Party, that you got a candidate right now who's the first president in my lifetime who started no new wars, and you're going to be like, I'm voting for somebody else. How are you going to vote for Chase Oliver, who you know can't win, when Donald Trump didn't start any wars and actually sought to end them? And don't get me wrong, he's been criticized for drone strikes and other things. And I'm like, I get it. You're right. And he didn't start any new wars. It's like, bro, you're really going to let that one go? Dude, I don't believe you for a second, okay? You are not being reasonable or rational if you're saying I have an opportunity to vote for the first president in our lives who didn't start a war. And you're like, but he drone striked. The drone strikes were already happening. The war had already begun. He didn't start any new ones. He's your best chance. At the very least, you can say you supported the guy who was winding down and pulling our troops out. And that's it. That's it. It's not about being partisan. It's about just that. So my friends, by all means, vote for IRS agent Kamala. And then you're going to pay everything in taxes. And they're going to say, no new taxes. Yeah, don't worry. They'll come after the existing ones. I'm going to leave it there. Next segment's coming up. I don't know. I don't know what the schedule is going to be because I have a lot of segments to go through. I'm just having fun on a Saturday morning. Smash the like button. Subscribe to this channel. Follow me on X at Timcast. Become a member at timcast.com and go to buycominghome.com. B-U-Y, like buy it. Buycominghome.com. Purchase the song Pre-Order coming out this coming Friday. It's a song about coming home to find that your cities have been destroyed by the people who came before you, and they left you with nothing and destroyed your birthright. And it's about how we're not going to stand forward anymore. So again, smash that like button. We'll see you on the next segment. For those that are watching live, super chats. We'll grab a couple now.